kids, where are you? It's time for all the art to tell stories.
In the bustling town of Willowbrook, where cobblestone streets wound through quaint shops and cozy homes, there lived a girl named Emma, who was anything but ordinary. Emma had a secret. She could turn invisible. It wasn't something she could control at first. It happened when she was scared or upset, her body fading from sight like a wisp of smoke. Over time, she learned to harness her ability, using it to navigate the world unseen. But Emma wasn't interested in using her power for mischief or personal gain. Instead, she had a mission: to help those who couldn't help themselves. Emma's passion was animals. She loved their innocence, their loyalty, and their boundless capacity for love. So, when pets began disappearing from Willowbrook, Emma knew she had to do something. The townsfolk were baffled. Dogs, cats, even a prized parrot had vanished without a trace. Some blamed wild animals, others suspected a thief, but no one could find the culprit. Emma, however, had a plan. She would use her invisibility to uncover the truth and bring the missing pets home. The first disappearance. It all started with Mr. Higgins's golden retriever, Max. Max was a friendly dog who loved to wander the streets, greeting everyone he met. One evening, he didn't return home. Mr. Higgins searched everywhere, calling Max's name until his voice grew hoarse. But the dog was nowhere to be found. Emma heard about Max's disappearance the next day at school. Her heart ached for Mr. Higgins, and she decided to investigate. That night, she slipped out of her house, her body fading into invisibility. She retraced Max's usual route, her sharp eyes scanning the shadows for any clues. Near the edge of town, she found something. A tuft of golden fur caught on a bush. Emma's heart raced as she examined the spot. There were footprints nearby, too large to belong to a dog. Someone had taken Max. The pattern emerges. Over the next few days, more pets went missing. Mrs. Thompson's tabby cat, Whiskers, disappeared from her porch. The miller's parrot, Captain, vanished from his cage. Each time Emma investigated, finding small clues, a scrap of fabric, a muddy boot print, a faint trail leading into the woods outside town. Emma began to notice a pattern. The disappearances always happened at night, and the trail always led to the same place, the abandoned factory on the outskirts of Willowbrook. The factory had been closed for years, its windows boarded up and its walls covered in ivy. It was the perfect hideout for a pet thief. The investigation. Emma knew she had to act quickly. She enlisted the help of her best friend Jake, a tech-savvy boy with a knack for solving puzzles. Jake didn't know about Emma's invisibility, but he trusted her instincts. Together, they devised a plan. That night, Emma turned invisible and crept toward the factory, while Jake stayed behind to monitor the situation from his laptop. He had hacked into the town's security cameras and could guide Emma through the factory's layout. The factory was dark and eerie, its halls filled with the echoes of dripping water and creaking metal. Emma moved silently, her heart pounding as she followed the trail of clues. She found cages stacked in a corner, their doors hanging open. The air smelled of animals, but there was no sign of the missing pets. Then she heard it, a faint whimper. Emma followed the sound to a hidden door, its lock rusted but still intact. Using a hairpin she had brought, she picked the lock and slipped inside. The discovery. The room was filled with cages, each one holding a frightened animal. Max, Whiskers, Captain and others, all the missing pets were there. Emma's heart swelled with relief, but her joy was short-lived. She heard footsteps approaching, heavy and deliberate. She pressed herself against the wall, her invisibility masking her presence. A man entered the room, his face shadowed by a hood. He carried a bag of food, which he tossed into the cages. The animals cowered, too scared to eat. Emma's blood boiled. She had to save them, but she couldn't do it alone. She slipped out of the room and returned to Jake, who was waiting at the edge of the woods. "I found them," she whispered. "But there's a man guarding them. We need a plan." The rescue. Jake suggested they create a distraction. He had brought a small drone, which he programmed to fly into the factory and set off the fire alarm. As the alarm blared, the man rushed out of the room, leaving the door open. Emma seized the opportunity. She turned invisible and slipped back into the room, unlocking the cages one by one. The animals hesitated at first, but Emma whispered soothing words, urging them to follow her. She led them out of the factory and into the woods, where Jake was waiting with a van. They loaded the animals into the van and drove back to town, their hearts racing with adrenaline. Emma knew they weren't out of danger yet. The man would soon realize the pets were gone and come after them. The confrontation. Back in Willowbrook, Emma and Jake returned the pets to their owners, who were overjoyed to see their beloved companions. But Emma knew the man from the factory wouldn't give up so easily. She decided to confront him, using her invisibility to her advantage. That night, she returned to the factory, her body fading into the shadows. She found the man in the hidden room, his face twisted with rage as he realized the cages were empty. "Who's there?" he snarled, his eyes darting around the room. "Show yourself." Emma remained silent, circling him like a ghost. She picked up a metal pipe and struck it against the wall, creating a loud clang. The man spun around, his fear growing with each passing moment. Finally, Emma revealed herself, stepping out of the shadows with a fierce determination. "You're done stealing pets," she said. "Leave this town, or I'll make sure everyone knows what you've done." The man hesitated, then fled into the night, never to be seen again. A hero's welcome. The next morning, the town celebrated the return of the missing pets. Emma was hailed as a hero, though she downplayed her role, letting Jake take most of the credit. She knew her invisibility was a secret best kept hidden, but she was proud of what she had accomplished. From that day on, Emma became the guardian of Willowbrook's animals, using her power to protect them from harm. If you like our stories, please like, subscribe, and turn on the little bell, so you won't miss exciting stories every day. You are also welcome to share it with family and friends to listen to the story together. Love you.